Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pod Mavericks Live Draft Show. I'm Kirker Henderson. Tonight, I'm joined by Josh Bowe, David Trink, David Sanchez, and probably a couple of more names throughout the night here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We have no idea what we're doing. Um, the NBA draft has started, but as usual with NBA draft related nonsense, it's just all things to fill airtime. We don't know when the first pick is due. We just figured we'd hang out and do some things related to the Mavs because that's what the good people who listen to this show have asked for. I am actually at my kids' basketball practice, so I'm going to hop back into that.
Yep.
Please, someone emergency text me if the Mavericks don't pick Cooper Flagg so I can go to American Airlines Center and be angry. We'll figure something out. But guys, this will be fun. We'll post this on the podcast stream later if it's a good enough listen. But just talk basketball, talk Cooper Flag, talk about any of the draft guys that you're interested in. I mean, the draft is supposed to be a fun time, and this might be this year and next year are going to be the last times we get to enjoy it in the way we do. So thanks so much for hanging out, guys, and I will see you guys a little later.
See you on the other side. All right. So, got the two Davids. I'm going to bring in Brian, plugging you in, just putting you on the spot. Hope you guys are doing good. So, yeah, Kirk is probably going to hop back in, I don't know, in like a half hour, maybe 45 minutes if we're still live. We'll see what's going on, but we're just going to free flow. We're just going to talk about the draft. We're going to talk about Cooper Flagg. We're going to talk about whatever happens in the draft. We'll be watching it live. Obviously, you guys need to be watching it have it on another window. We're not going to be broadcasting it here on our stream. So just have another window open, have another monitor, have another TV, whatever your setup is. We'll follow along. And since Cooper's obviously the Mavericks are going to select first, so hopefully, I don't know how ESPN's going to structure this and if they're going to do 15 minutes of pregame until the actual draft starts. I'm not sure. I've got it on right now and I can't tell.
I can tell you how they're going to structure it. Portland.
Yes, probably. So I would imagine that whenever the first pick happens, we'll talk because we got plenty to talk about. And then obviously when it happens, we can talk a little bit more. That doesn't really change anything. We know what's going to happen. Cooper Flagg's going to be selected with the first pick. We'll talk as much as we have takes, and I see Tyler and Sudarshan are here. Hold on. Let me see if I can add all of them to the stage. Hold on. Let's see.
Oh.
Whoa! All right.
Yeah,
Kirk wasn't
the
sure if you could only add
Xbox.
four. Oh, wow, there we go. Yeah, we're like NFL Red Zone over here. I'm a very not as good looking and worse Scott Hansen, so I'll do my best. So yeah,
right,
it looks like Adam Silver's. All right, so I think they're going to get started because Adam Silver's on the podium. So thank God. I was worried they were going to do like 20 minutes of pregame and commercials, but it looks like they're going to get started. So we'll chat along. We'll react live. We're going to talk about a lot of Cooper Flagg, and then we'll stay on as long as we have things to talk about. Because obviously the Mavericks don't have another pick tonight after Cooper, but there's obviously rumors that they could trade back into the first. But if they do, presumably that would be a lower pick. So I don't know if we could actually realistically podcast from now till like 9 o'clock if they traded back in for like the 22nd pick or not 22nd pick, Brian. Sorry, gave you some PTSD there.
Hey, look, it's still 19 or 22 still alive. Brooklyn ain't finna use all of those.
All right.
I'm keeping up.
I like the optimism. So. We'll talk as long as we can. If we can stay on while news happens, we'll obviously react to it live. But if nothing happens, presumably me and Kirk will regroup for kind of a proper post-evening recap, assuming there's not any fireworks, but we'll see what's going on. But anyway, let's go around the room. Not everyone has been, if you've been watching our podcast or listening to our podcast, some of these faces might not be familiar. If you read our site, they are definitely familiar because these guys pretty much write all of our content. We got David Sanchez. David, how's it going?
It's going all right. I got COVID right now, so.
Oh my gosh, you're on the end of this. You're still here.
Yeah, still here though. Still here. Excited for it. Yeah. So I'm doing good outside of that. So I'm doing.
Okay, well that's good to hear. Otherwise, we got the other David Trink. How's it going? Playback room MVP specialist now on the podcast.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I'm just busy.
Busy at work, busy with Mavs stuff all the time, of course.
Right.
But it's good overall, and it'll be a little better if Cooper Flagg is said first and not literally anything else.
Well, Mavericks are officially on the clock. So we'll pass it Sudarshan across the other side of the world. What time is it over there?
It is 5:30 in the morning.
That like I think about like when I get tired of doing Mavs stuff, and we got people and Mavs fans that are waking up in the middle of the night to watch this stuff, and it puts me to shame. But how are you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. It took me 3 alarms and I just woke up on time, just about.
Well, you don't look like you just woke up, so you're doing good. If it was 5:30 for me, like my overhead light would be on. I would just have the mood floor lamp on, probably be in a blanket. So I'm proud of you. Good job. Tyler's on the podcast. How's it going? What's going on?
Josh, it's going good, man. Sorry, I've just been cracking up watching whatever montage ESPN was just showing. It was just like a minute and a half of straight Luca highlights. So that was fun to walk through memory lane there.
All right, good to have you, Brian. How's it going?
Yeah. Not the best. I do not have my beer in hand yet, nor has my pizza been delivered. I was hoping to have that done before the show started, but we're about to draft Cooper Flagg and possibly someone else. So, yeah, I'm excited, man.
Yeah, so this will be good. The pick's going to be in any minute now.
The pick is in.
Oh, okay. There we go. You guys are ahead of. I got YouTube TV. I don't know what you guys are watching on that are
Same
ahead
for
of
me.
me.
I'm just streaming on Spectrum.
Oh man, I'm glad. I'm kind of mad that Kirk isn't on here because these live shots back to Nico and Jason Kidd would be sending him up a wall. What does that say in the background of the Mavericks draft room? Consistency and discipline. Oh
Yeah,
my
okay.
God, this is hilarious.
I'm just almost glad that I have my TV on mute. I kind of want to hear what outlandish nonsense Kendrick Perkins is saying, but I know in my heart that I don't. So it's for the best that I have the TV muted.
It's not worth it. I promise.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to hear Steve. I'm sure Stephen A. Smith has been in the lab for the last 2 months, just grinding Big Ten footage, grinding Southland Conference footage.
Josh,
sure
you know what's worse though? So
What?
ESPN has two streams. They have ABC, where you can choose between Stephen A. Smith, or they have ESPN, where they have Kendrick Perkins. Both options.
Yeah.
It's just horrible.
Really?
Look, when I think about
I
the
didn't even
NBA
notice
draft, that's who I want giving me my college basketball opinions. You can't get better. Where's Jay Billis? Isn't he always on here? Anyone see Jay Billis?
Jay Billis, Fran
I think he's on the
Fischilla.
ESPN one.
Oh, okay.
I was on the ESPN one earlier.
Okay, he's got to be somewhere. Okay, well, I guess I want to just kick it around because Cooper Flagg's about to be drafted. What are y'all's initial thoughts? Like, what's the mood? I want a vibe check. Whoever wants to start up first. We can go in the order that our faces are in. So I'll go with David Sanchez. Kind of, what's a vibe check for you right now?
Man, I'm really excited. I really want to see what Cooper Flagg really brings to the team. Like this is like Christmas for me. Like I'm like, you have all that anticipation. You got Cooper Flagg. You know what's happening. Like I don't think anybody anywhere thought we would get the number 1 pick. I used to message Tyler saying I did so many tankathons until I got Dallas into the top 4. But this is really exciting. I'm really excited to have Cooper here, and it gives some life and some hope to a franchise that I wouldn't say like before that was feeling pretty fallen.
Yeah, for me, this is like it is such a relief that there is something basketball related that I'm genuinely excited about after the last 3 months. He just like represents a certain joy that I have getting, that I have like with my fandom, being excited about like your guy and the potential that it brings. And then it's like a guy like Cooper Flagg. It's like, there's not really much that can recreate that feeling at like when the Mavs got the first pick. So I'm very, very excited about this.
All right, Sudarshan, what do you got? How are you feeling?
I mean, at this point, I really don't know how to feel. I guess
That's
it'll
fair.
start once the season starts, because I think the excitement to get Cooper Flag is definitely there, but in some way, post February 1st, in my brain will not allow me to sort of give in to the excitement, because I don't really know what kind of shit show our team is really going to produce. But it is, I mean, it's really exciting to get a player of his caliber to add to the squad. And yeah, hopefully it turns out all well.
Okay. What do you got for me, Tyler? How are you feeling?
I
Also,
feel
they're
good that now
dragging
the
this
pick is
out.
officially in. So the pick is
Dragging this
in.
out.
It is Cooper Flag. He just got announced by the commissioner.
Okay, there
So
you go.
Cooper Flag is officially Dallas Maverick. I'm excited, man. There's a lot of other things going on around the team that are an absolute disaster right now. But for these 3-4 hours, depending on how long the first round lasts, yeah, you can be excited. Cooper Flag's a generational prospect. You should be happy to get him. So we've all written about him. We've said our piece about him. He's amazing. He's going to help change the direction of the team eventually, whether it's this year, next year, whenever. It's exciting. You should be excited. This is objectively a good day for the franchise.
For sure. Brian, what you got? How you feeling? It's official.
Yeah, I'm watching on my screen. Still a bit in disbelief, but I cannot wait to watch this team defend with Cooper Flag. That is going to be so fun. Watching this team play defense, create turnovers, get out in transition, run in a way that, quite frankly, we haven't seen the Mavericks team run consistently since the latter half of the 24 season. And then before that, even going back to like the bubble year, like 2020 season, Luka's second year. I'm super excited to just see him get on the court and watch him and PJ, fingers crossed, Derek Lively, AD, whatever combination of the three of them, plus whatever guard we're going to throw out there, just watch them defend in the front court. It is really going to be special. And frankly, like the people who were watching him in college, they didn't get to quite get the Cooper experience. If you saw him in high school, like he was by far the best rim protector in college as a forward. You did not want to meet him at the rim. And I am super intrigued to see how that works out in the league against grown men.
Well, Brian, I don't know if you knew this, but defense wins championships.
Mm.
So I don't know about. It sounds like you're right in line with what the Mavericks' vision here is. So you've always been on board.
Was Brian a Nico Harrison plant at Mavs Moneyball? Is that what's going on here? What is this?
Man, if I was a Nico Harrison playing at Mavs Moneyball, y'all would know. I would have an AP on, man. They would have had to pay me a whole lot.
Yeah, that's right.
No.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, after we just watched the finals and you watched Oklahoma City, I mean, there is something to be said about watching a team with a lot of elite defenders and what that can do for your franchise. Obviously, the way that it's happening for Dallas is not the ideal way to go about it, but they're just playing the cards that they were dealt. Me personally, I'm excited. Like, I think what Tyler was saying earlier, like, and I know Dave, like, all you guys have reiterated this, but it's just glad to have something to talk about. Like, we don't really need to talk about. I mean, we can, but like the point of tonight and talking about the draft and Cooper being drafted is like, we don't necessarily have to talk about Kyrie's ACL injury right now. We don't have to talk about who they're going to try to sign to replace him. We don't have to talk about their front court logjam necessarily. We don't have to talk about, do they need to trade Anthony Davis, or who do they need, like, we can just talk about Cooper for like just today. And like, I think for some Mavs fans, it's just like a relief, because you think about the last 6 months and it was just a relentless stream of shit. Like, every day you woke up and it was like, what stupid fresh hell have the Mavericks brought me? If you're a Mavs fan, like, I know you see it. Like, I'm okay. Like, I'm kind of like, I'm like in this post, I've like disassociated with a lot of reality for this. So it just kind of comes and goes in between my ears. But like for fans that are like living and dying, like, I just don't understand how they tolerated it for the last 3 or 4 months or however long it's been. It's crazy that February was what, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. Like, that's
Barely.
insane to me. That's insane. Like that, it feels like everything that happened like 2 weeks ago. So that's kind of it's nice to talk about something that is overwhelmingly, genuinely good, and not have to like argue or fight anyone. Like I don't think you're gonna run into anyone, any Mavs fan or any NBA observer that's like, that will say like something bad about what is happening right now. And that's honestly the first time you could say that about the Mavericks since February 1st.
So can I just point out that at the Mavs watch party, I don't know if y'all saw the tweet that Kirk sent in Slack that they were chanting "Fire Nico."
Oh, that's awesome.
Sounds about right.
That's amazing.
God bless this fan base, man. We are amazing.
Yeah, as much as people are saying, yeah, they'll eventually let it go. The winner will cure it. No, we're not letting this go. Like, I mean, look, to a certain point, you know what I mean? But we can move on. We're not moving past this. We're not forgetting. Right? So, like, when you show your face at the games, you're finna get these chants. Right? And like the players will be annoyed. It's been going on so long at this point, the players honestly got used to it by the end of the season.
Yeah. I want to piggyback up something Tyler said about this is a big day for the franchise. To hell with the franchise. I don't care about the dudes that work at this franchise. This is a huge day for the fans. Like this, say what you want about the team next year, but a lot of the basketball was going to really suck if they had not gotten this pick. And it would not have been a fun experience. Now it's going to be fun. Now it's going to be like really fun because this happened. This is like massive. The fans deserve this. The franchise did not, but they're both benefiting from it. So
I will say I am glad for if there are employees that I am happy for, it is the non-basketball ops employees. I'm happy for ticket rep salesmen. I am happy for marketing department people. All these people that have to like go to work every day and like get shit on because they are an employee of the Mavericks, even though they have nothing to do with what's happened over the last 6 months. Like that's nice. There's some relief there. Obviously, I'm a little biased because like we know, I know people that work for the Mavs or did work for the Mavs, and it sucks. By the way, Dylan Harper just got picked second.
Yep.
He sure did.
As expected. That was fast. That flew by.
Yeah.
I appreciate the Mavs and Spurs not just hanging out for letting the time run out on the clock. I appreciate
it's so great
getting picks in.
The first pick should be in. Like Adam Silver should come out and announce the first pick. What are we doing? We've had months for this. Like what are we doing?
Do they have the 5-minute rule like the NFL where they basically have to like filibuster for 5 minutes so that they can?
I think they increased the time limit to 7 now, but
no, it's 5.
But there's no mandatory
minimum.
5
still.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can put the pick in as quickly as you want, which is why I appreciate these two teams not toying around with our time, even though this is because they're going to try and stretch this out now that this is like just 1 round per day.
Mm-hmm.
So we already know that we're going to get the sob stories and the and all the unnecessary background information in like the middle picks and in the 20s. But yeah, I appreciate the first 2 picks not really playing around.
It was terrible last year. Like the first round last year was unbearable after the first 10 picks.
I mean, did Malika Andrews try to investigate everyone's criminal records and post all of those things with each and every pick?
I learned about everybody that had a sick grandmother, and I'm like, look, man, maybe they didn't want us to know about their sick grandmother. Why do we need to know that right now?
Yeah, a lot of live TV therapy sessions happen in the draft or whatever. I don't know what they're trying to do.
The NFL draft's influence once again.
Yeah. By the way, can we start calling ourselves Poster City now?
Poster City?
I'm listening.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm 80 million years old because I don't know what the reference is.
Poster.
No, like
Damn.
I mean, with Cooper Flagg in the fold, we're just going to be putting everyone on posters.
Well, we got to see it first. We can't do that until we have a couple. Like a couple.
We got to put somebody on one first.
Yeah.
We got we have the greatest vertical threat in
Uh-huh.
NBA history.
Now, if we trade back into the late 20s and we draft that like a Duke Thiero kid, then we can start calling ourselves Poster City because somebody.
Oh,
gets
he's
dunked on.
good, dude.
Like we're not going to be able to shoot a lick outside of like Coop and whoever the point guard is, but we dunking on everybody. Believe that.
I am so jealous that you guys get to go to Summer League and watch this. It is going to be fantastic for nothing else in that Summer League in terms of basketball is such a shit show that just watching them put everyone on posters is going to be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not going, but
yeah.
I'm hating. I'm hating.
I'm curious. There's something funny, like just seeing seeing the Spurs and getting Dylan Harper, and they got Victor Wembanyama, and they got Stephen Castle, and like it's funny that the Mavericks got. I feel like it was destiny that if the Mavericks were going to get Cooper Flagg, then the Spurs had to get the second pick because. For most of my adult life, the Southwest Division has had like the most talent in basketball, and it is hilarious. Like you think about the Dirk years, and he's got Duncan in his, he's playing with Tim Duncan in his division for basically his whole career. And then Memphis was okay for a couple years.
Houston
was good with Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady. They were good.
Yep.
And then it transitions into the Luka era, and it's like Luka, Ja, Zion, Wemby. Now, obviously,
Harden for a bit.
Who?
Harden for a bit.
Yeah, Harden for a bit. Like how many MVPs have come out of the Southwest Conference over the last 25 years? It feels like a lot, but obviously, Ja and Zion are no longer the presumed threat that we thought they were 3 or 4 years ago. But it's still. Like I just feel like it just doesn't matter. I feel like the Southwest Division could have more All-Stars than like the Eastern Conference some years. Like that's just how it's felt.
Is Oklahoma City not in the Southwest Conference?
No, they're in the whatever.
They're in Northwest.
Yeah,
right?
because they used to be Seattle and they just kept them there.
Yeah.
Are they ever going to like
whenever
realign those?
Yeah,
They got
whenever
you, man.
Minnesota
Memphis in
goes
the
east. Yeah, when
Memphis or
Minnesota goes
Minnesota, yeah.
east.
Yeah, because I mean, not that I want to. I don't really want to see Oklahoma City 4 times a year, but
They just need to get rid of divisions,
I do.
period, honestly.
I ain't scared of them.
oh wait, actually I do. We've like destroyed them the last.
Yeah,
2 years.
you kidding
What
me?
am
I
saying?
get to punk them for certain 4 times a year. Yeah, bring them on.
And the expansion is both likely West teams, right? Like, so there are going to have to do some reshuffling when that happens because it'll be Las Vegas and Seattle.
Definitely Vegas, possibly Seattle. Mm-hmm. It better be Seattle, man.
I thought it was like already confirmed that it was Vegas and Seattle.
I hope so because Seattle deserves a basketball team after waiting this long.
Yeah, for sure. Is Philadelphia keeping this pick? I'm not on Twitter. Are they?
It's just
I'm
now
scrolling
in.
right now.
Okay.
I think they're taking Edgecombe. I mean, they're showing Edgecombe.
It is Edgecombe.
Well, yeah, Jake Fisher said something, but we all know that means nothing. So I'll wait to see what it is. I love and respect to Jake Fisher, man.
We don't need a repeat of that.
No, yes, we do. That was great content.
That was good. Yeah.
It should rotate around from one insider to another every year. We just got to pick
Jake
on somebody
Fisher,
different.
Chris Haynes getting picks wrong. Yeah, I just need somebody to just get picks wrong on the timeline once a year.
Okay. To get it back to the Mavs, Cooper Flagg will wear number 32. Christian Clark of The Athletic is reporting. How do we feel about number 32 Mavericks jerseys? Is that the number he wore in high school? What he was
High
2
school,
at Duke,
yeah.
right?
High school.
Yes.
Yeah, no. This was high school.
and AAU. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't love it.
Who was the last 32
I don't love it.
as a Mav?
Hey, who was the last good 77?
Oh, well,
Sorry.
Oh,
I mean,
I think the last 32 was a big man. He was one of those guys we got from the Warriors or something. I think it was 2021.
Are you making a Danny Fortson reference in 2025? I think that might have been who that is.
but Jamal Mashburn, right? Like he was.
Yeah, there you go.
That's who has the majority of the jerseys, right? Of 32.
I think so. That's got to be right.
Let me see. I'm monitoring the YouTube chat as we're doing. Hey, Miguel, don't make me jump through this camera at you, man.
hey, shout out to me. Shout out to me for picking VJ Edgecombe in our first mock draft at 3. I got that one right.
Alongside noted guard Con Knippel.
Noted point guard Con Kneppel, man. I cannot. That actually blew my mind.
Look.
Hey, speaking of
Oh,
guards, and
time.
this is actually somewhat Mavs related. One of the Bulls writers, I think his name's like John Crowley. I think he's athletic or something. Said the Bulls
Okay.
are actively trying to get Lonzo or Kobe traded, and that they're
What?
looking to potentially pick a guard at 12.
Look, man, I
I just don't know
got
how
a Daniel
how did the Mavs
Gafford.
get him.
I got a Daniel Gafford. I got a Lakers pick. I got a pick swap in 2031. You can have all that if you give me Kobe White right now.
Yeah,
You can have
but
all that if you give me Kobe White right now.
I don't know. I thought the Mavericks solved their point guard problems today, according to Mark Stein. I thought D'Angelo Russell was. What are you guys talking about? I thought this
Josh,
was all-
how
He
vulgar am I
did, but
allowed
he
to get
also
on this show
created
right
now?
100 new ones.
Look, there's so much going on here. I'm just here to shit sir and shit post.
Yeah,
I know that's
okay.
good for live content. I'm sorry.
No, look, we don't need that here. We
No, we don't need to
that
talk
here.
about D'Angelo Russell right now. Let's go back to Cooper. I want more Cooper takes because I don't have you guys on the podcast a lot. I know I kind of know all of your takes because we're in Slack and we talk all the time, and I read the stuff that you guys do write. But I want to go around the room and kind of just give me your initial thoughts on what you're most excited about with Cooper in Dallas. What do you think is going to fit really well with him right away? Just how he's going to fit in with this roster, your initial takes on the front court logjam, like how do they fit him in and maximize his rookie season. Let's just go around the room so that you guys get a chance to say your piece since you guys aren't always on the show. Let's start, David Sanchez.
Yeah, when I look at it, I mean, I still think he's really young. Obviously, he's one of the youngest ones in the draft, and like the NBA does take a little bit to get used to. I kind of go back to Kevin Garnett interview that he had about how long it took him, about 40 or so odd games to try to get the speed of the NBA down and really understand it. And so I'm really excited to see him grow and like try to figure out things in real time. Because I think that's going to be the really fun part to see this is like seeing how his defense grows from one game to the other, trying to see him be a little bit more of a facilitator since we don't have someone at the front and see if they work in some of that. I'm really excited about it. I mean, like I hear the Scottie Pippen, comps, and I think that's a great comp for him. I think that's someone that would do a really great for the Mavericks in the long term. I want to see how we're going to build around him. And I think like this is, for me at least, like a perfect building block, like an actual like real path for the future of the Mavericks. My only thing that I'm also thinking about is like AD kind of came over here to be like, I'm going to be the face of a franchise. And like that, he's no longer a face of a franchise. I think like he's literally been overtaken within a few months of being at this, being here, and now we have the number one pick and Cooper Flagg's there. So I would like to see what's going to happen with AD and his relationship with Cooper as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll piggyback off of that last thing. I have 2 points, and one of them relates to AD and Cooper Flagg, how they play together. I mean, like Anthony Davis, obviously, we all agree, and we've talked about it in Slack and written about it, that his best position is at the 5. Especially for the way this roster is constructed, because like AD, PJ, and Cooper Flagg is such a like long, big front court that I don't even know how you dribble within 15 feet of the basket around those dudes, let alone get a shot up at the rim. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So that's like a big thing that I'm excited to see is just how they move Cooper in like different lineups. I know Kid talked about him playing the 2. I would genuinely be okay, I wouldn't be surprised, but I would be kind of in awe watching it. But so the first thing that I'm excited for is just how he fits in defensively, which I think it'll be seamless because he can guard multiple positions. Probably he can guard 3 through 5. Honestly, there's a lot of small 5s that he can guard in the league. And then on offense, I think I'm very interested to see the mismatches he gets, because if you play him at the 4, like he's either like Anthony Davis is obviously getting the best post defender the other team has. And a lot of teams will probably have to go a little smaller because if they don't, then Cooper's either getting a big, like lumbering 4 that can't really guard him off the dribble, or he's getting like a bigger guard like Jaylen Brown or something that will take away his dribble, but then he's got a mismatch in the post. So it'll be interesting to see how that works and how quickly he can come up to speed with taking advantage of these mismatches he's inevitably going to get. And then the second point I'm really excited for, and maybe I'll write about this, is just like his mentality is something that gets me so hype for him. Like the quote about, if you're the best player on the court, find a new court. That is like, there's a lot of great players. There's not a lot of great players with great mindsets. And Cooper Flagg is one of them. It was kind of like what Luka had, where he takes everything personally, and every matchup is like something he strives to win. And if he doesn't, he gets upset and then he works towards winning it the next time. It's that kind of thing. The competitive drive that Cooper Flagg has like not only talked about himself, but like it seems like everybody that has worked with him, like coached him, played with him, has been like, this dude is all about winning and that's all he cares about. So that's the other thing I'm really excited for in a number one pick. Is, you know, how he fits in on offense and defense with the mismatches, and then just his mindset coming into this year and throughout his career.
I mean, Brian, you put your hand up. You want to go?
Yeah, I saw that someone said, well, I don't want to go in front of you. I just wanted to know. Someone said that apparently Dirk recorded the video that actually played for the fans at the AAC, at the watch
There
party.
was like a really short video, which I think he just basically says, "Welcome to Dallas." I don't have it on, but yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yep,
I
he
saw
did a
someone
video.
mention that, and I was like, did he come back around, or did he just do a quick video? I couldn't tell. But
No, he's not. He's not there. He's still in Europe, so he's sending a video.
oh yeah, no, I knew he wasn't here, but like back around.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
had to call him to get him to do that.
That's right.
I wonder
yeah.
who it was.
I mean, it's probably
Probably-
Jason Kidd.
Or Finley.
Probably, yeah,
Yeah.
that would make the most sense. I just wanted to note that though.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, that is
No.
notable.
No, I mean the biggest thing about Cooper that I'm excited about is I don't think we've had anyone this athletic and I mean this kind of a defensive anchor that you could probably build around. I know everyone talks about AD as this kind of defensive superstar, but and I know Josh, we've had our discussions about AD's defense and how everyone talks about it, but I think after seeing Oklahoma City in the finals this time, to get a player and now have a team that can effectively move like that and defend like that, again with courts, if they're allowed to defend like that, because that's always the asterisk in the room. But I think it's going to be really exciting watching someone of that athletic profile. I know everyone talks about Josh Green being athletic, but then this is like a whole different level altogether. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
Con at 4, by the way, to the
They
Hornets.
did something smart.
Nice.
Hornets did something smart.
And
I
also,
hope they don't ruin him. I hope they don't ruin him.
Is that smart? I don't know enough.
Oh yeah,
well,
I was
they
really
did
No,
like-
it's smart.
I was fantasy picking Trey Johnson to them, but
yeah. I would have
I'm-
probably chosen Trey over Khan, but they serve a lot of the same purposes, and I think Khan is like a more well-rounded player. Like he's really really good,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
and
No,
yeah, he's gonna fit.
I think Con is a better fit next to LaMelo than Trey Johnson.
yeah,
Johnson
Trey,
would be
Brandon
great.
Miller,
like between
and
LaMelo and
on
Brandon
the same
Miller, right?
team.
With their shot diets, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You got. I plead the fifth. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert.
But
Okay.
anyhow,
Yeah. Go ahead.
so
I saw that
Cooper
I
Flagg.
saw that post about the Hornets being sick of losing. There was someone who had posted on Twitter about the Hornets being sick of losing and they just want to make smart basketball decisions again, or something of that sort. This is a step towards that.
It is.
They
The
are
next
sick
one
of
would be
losing.
trading their point guard, but
What made them realize?
Yeah, they have been sick for a long time. I mean, that sounds like a terminal illness.
when they tried to trade one of their starters to the Lakers, and they said, "Actually,
Right.
this dude sucks. You can have it back."
Oh man.
Makes you think. It'll really make you look in the mirror.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Can we? Are we really as stupid as the Dallas Mavericks? Let's put it that way. That's what makes everyone think.
Unfortunately.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, his brother is huge.
Yeah, let's
The
get
last-
him in the
Good
league.
Lord.
Huh?
What the hell? How old is this kid?
I think he's 19.
There's 3 of them that are like his height.
Yeah, and the little one is probably not even like 14 yet. And he's kind of monstro genes of these.
Crap!
Good Lord. Imagine trying to work hard enough to feed this many kids that are this size. That's why I have a kids right there.
A lot easier now.
It's. I
Well,
mean, yeah. It's
yeah.
like. It's. Like, is that cloning?
I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything, but the two on the right look exactly like each other, just different haircuts.
He would have been so good on the Jazz.
That
Fit
haircut.
right
is
in.
wild.
Fit right.
that guy with the maroon. Like if he makes it somewhere.
Yeah, that kid's kind of got the Green Goblin from Amazing Spider-Man 2 going on with like the little flare up.
Whoever told them to all wear like solid one color suits, this was. I mean, they should have done like a what's the thing where like fades like slowly into another color, like the Jazz jerseys a couple years ago.
A gradient, yeah.
Yeah, they should have done a gradient with like by height.
And even better, all the kids start with the letter K. That's one of those families.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's your standard suburban family right there.
Yeah, I think it's like the uncle's name is Clint, and then there's okay, yeah, they just put the names on it. All right, yeah.
Whatever his name is,
Ridiculous.
Kidman.
Kidman.
Cash Cato,
Oh.
Colin Kinston, Kidman.
Wait, hold on.
There was a guy named
Bro, there's no way you name him Cash, and I got to be named Kidman. What is this?
Cash.
Why he get the good name?
Cash is a money name.
Cash.
No,
Knipple?
Cash Knipple
That's
is
actually
crazy.
not. That's a
That's
very
great.
good name.
That's great.
Kidman Knipple. That poor kid. He's got no
Oh,
shot.
man. Cage is also not a bad name.
Oh man, there they are.
Cash, KJ, Kidman.
But bringing it back to the Mavs, the last player to wear number 32 for the Mavs was Marquise Chris.
Oh wow!
pageantry.
A long storied history of number 32s in Dallas.
I totally forgot. I saw someone tweet and mention that Mark Aguirre wore it. I completely forgot that Marquise Chris wore 32.
The last 32 we recognize is OJ Mayo.
I think
Yeah, for sure.
I think like if a player, you should be able to retire a number also if a player's so bad that you can't ever have another dude wear it
You
again.
able to put this juju on anybody else?
The Anthony
Oh.
Bennett rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I mean, the other players who won 32 are Christian Leitner, Brandon Bass,
That makes sense.
Trey
Oh.
Burke.
Brandon Bass.
What a
Speaking of
name.
Trey Burke, they had I'm pretty sure they had Trey Burke's bubble jersey like on the draft board, like when they were announcing the Mavs pick, and they had like a collage of Mavs players. Trey Burke was one of them.
So
Why?
some Utah news. They've made a pick. It's Ace.
No way.
Oh,
Okay, so Danny's gonna do it.
They were talking. They were saying like, "Oh man, that's so interesting."
Yeah, this is a draft day hostage. That is what this is. Brooklyn, give me all of your picks if you
Are
want.
we gonna have an Eli
That's what this
Manning situation on our hands?
Danny Ainge does not give a single fuck about anything. It's hilarious.
I thought Charlotte was gonna do this. Like Brooklyn accrued like 7 picks in the 20s. Okay, if you want this guy, give me 8, give me one of 19 and 22, and give me all those picks in the 20s. Actually, give me both 19 and 22, and give me all but one of those picks in the 20s. If you want this kid that bad, that's what Charlotte should have done. Like I'm fine with them taking Khan, but I would have held him in ransom if it's me.
I bet
That's me.
Utah wanted Khan, and when Khan was off the board, they were like, "Next
Oh,
player."
you know Utah wanted Khan. You know Utah wanted Khan.
Of course.
Khan, and then you get the pipeline, you get the other brothers in later. Yeah, now Danny's sick. You might have taken Ace out of spite, actually.
I heard he really leans in on like AAU players.
Yeah.
Like and like doesn't really care about this kind of stuff. And so he's like, yeah, I don't care what people do in college. So like
Except for
That's
Devanza,
funny.
because they paid for him to go to Utah for like 3 years
Yeah.
already.
Oh man.
Him and Ace together next year, that's going to be an adventure.
Who? Oh, are we talking about AJ?
Devanza, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, if the Jazz get the first.
Are we
pick.
sure they're keeping this? I'm not sure they're
Pick,
keeping
whatever.
this.
What would they do with it?
I don't know.
Trade it for
Brooklyn
8
for
and
5
1,000 other picks. Brooklyn, the Pelicans won him. They got 7 and 23 and some other such pick. Their teams have they could offer Herb Jones. They could. I wouldn't do that.
No, I mean, there's no way that the Pelicans are stupid enough to give up Trey Jones and Trey Murphy and number 7 for someone like Ace Bailey. I don't think so.
Trey and 7, no. Not both of those assets. You can get one of the. Honestly, it'd probably just be 7 and at most like Herb Jones, at most. And I don't even think they do that.
What does Utah do with all these guards? They got too many guards.
We know what Roby wants.
Continue to lose more games. That's what they'll do, and then complain that they didn't get the number 1 pick, in spite of the fact they lost all these games on purpose. That's what they'll do.
This highlight package is insane.
I mean,
that's the thing. That's him, right? That's his 1-sentence summary of Ace Bailey, right?
Yeah, I guess
True
so.
Hooper.
Yeah, these highlights are crazy.
Yeah.
Now, if you watch the game,
Yeah. What they don't show is the other 30 shots that he's taken, which are completely like doo-doo.
I mean, he probably won't complain about Utah because he'll get a bag there and he can take whatever shot he wants. That's what he wanted to do anyways.
yeah,
Can
we'll
he do that?
complain about not being on
Probably
the
be
East
pretty
Coast,
good
but
for
he's
him.
gonna get to shoot whatever he wants there.
Yeah.
Well, they got to trade some. They got to trade some guys before then, right?
Yeah.
he
They got
plays.
Laurie. They got.
I think they're going to. I don't know if they have to.
Keontae. I don't know.
I'm not.
You think Ace Bailey's going to give up shots to
standing-
Lauri Markkinen?
Yeah, if Keontae George is standing in front of me at the shots buffet, we need to have a talk, Coach
I know.
Hardy.
I'm just saying.
I think this is actually a solid pick for them. If they're like, if Ace is like, I want to go somewhere where I can be the number 1 guy. Like, there's nobody in Utah taking anything like from him.
Yep.
Yeah, you just go in there.
I mean, yeah, it's.
You think Jordan Clarkson is going to give him the ball?
Yeah, Jordan Clarkson.
I think Jordan Clarkson's fairly.
I don't think it's a
intelligent.
choice.
I don't think it's gonna matter if he gives him the ball. Ace will take the ball the moment it comes.
Ace
in,
can
guess what? This
rebound.
is my possession now. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually one of his like really plus skills outside of just like the tough shot making. He's a really good rebounder. I'm pretty sure on both ends, but definitely a good defensive rebounder.
Yeah.
So and frankly, they kind of need that because it's just like Walker Kessler or one of these 6'3" dudes go grab the ball. So in that way, I like it. But man, if I'm Ace Bailey and Lauri Markkinen and try to run up to the wing and try and like get the ball, man, I'm waving him off, bro. You ain't done nothing in the league. Get away from me. I'm taking this shot.
Is Utah going to be the first team in the league where you have players on the same team fighting for the ball? Like
Well, it's
literally
not the
going
first
for the
time.
We
ball?
almost got
court.
it. We almost got it with Trey Johnson and Jordan Poole in Washington, but unfortunately, Jordan Poole was traded.
Could
Hey,
happen in
man.
New
That would have
Orleans.
been.
I could still go to New Orleans.
Oh, I
think Trey and
you're
Jordan
right.
next to each other would be cool. I think it'd be really fun, actually.
I
I
think
may
he's
be one of the
getting
few
taken
people
right
who would
now.
not down on that Pelicans trade just because I think Jordan Poole is good and was definitely good last year.
He was.
I'm
am
fine
very
being in the
confused
minority.
by the Pelicans. I'm very confused by them.
Oh, it was confusing, no doubt. I just think Jordan's good, so like you live with it. But why they made that deal, I'm not entirely sure, and why they didn't really make the Wizards pay for getting off the extra Jordan years.
They're
I guess
trading
it's
for the
because-
love of the game. They just needed a rep. They just needed a rep. And a
Yeah, they was
trade.
like, yeah, let me work this
They're
muscle.
getting
I
a
haven't done
practice
this in a minute. Right.
I mean,
Jake Fisher says there is no trade. This is Utah just picking Ace Bailey.
Oh wow.
So he's getting traded.
Okay.
he do well
You're
there.
right.
Other
Yeah.
Like,
Bon
Think
Temp
about-
said it too.
I think he's gonna do well there. Think about it, like him, Laurie, Walker Kessler. I mean, you got some young guards. I mean, like that they're gonna have to give him the ball.
He's going to get
Well, that's the
coached for
thing.
the first time in his life too. Will Hardy will be good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah,
thing
for
about
sure.
Utah is they need a guy. Like they've just been so directionless
Yeah.
because they haven't been able to get a top 2 pick, and they just keep getting these like 7th, 8th picks that are like, oh, they're okay, but they don't have a stud. Laurie is just kind of like in the wrong age bracket to be like their foundational piece. So yeah, it makes sense, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, they have a bunch of guys who top out as like the 6th to 3rd best player on a really,
Right.
really good team. Laurie is the
Yeah.
only one that we think, okay, he might be like possibly at his best outcome,
Oh.
maybe the 2nd
That's not-
best on a really good team. But yeah, he's the only one. What happened?
Trey Johnson to the Wizards. Per Jeff
Oh,
Goodman.
yes.
Ooh, that is nice.
They replaced Jordan Poole.
Got that one right too in our mock draft.
Replaced Jordan
Wow.
Poole and drafted extra Jordan Poole. This is awesome.
Jeremiah Fears, welcome to the slide, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know if as many people were as high on like Jeremiah Fears as like
I
Some
saw
of us
so
might
many
have been,
people
like,
on
the Barlow
like, who
brothers
had him
are.
on his board as like 21, 23. But
Yeah,
every
Sam
mock draft's
seems
like
crazy
5
for
or
that.
6.
yeah, the people who are mocking him like in the late teens and 20s, I don't understand that. But
He's-
yeah, he'll probably go. He was probably going to go around where we were going to pick if we
He's
didn't get
really
one.
good. He's so
Is
like
it-
he's
Mhm.
so young. Like that's what people don't understand. Like he was doing all of this a year younger than everyone else, basically in college basketball.
Yeah, as much as people
But-
bring up Cooper reclassifying, he did too.
Yeah,
Is it his frame or something like that? Because he's not the biggest guy.
It's the shot and like the finishing numbers. Even though you can clearly see when you watch him play, he gets by anybody whenever he wants, and he gets to the rim and he finishes pretty strong when he gets there. But the numbers don't quite match up as far as like his efficiency in the paint. But I think that's literally just like you said, just putting on a little bit of strength as he gets older. So it could be the frame for some people, and it also could just be like the defense and the shooting. But I think the shot is going to be fine, like sooner than people think. And the defense, that's literally just coaching, man.
I'm actually like when I did my draft profile on him, like I actually don't mind the defense too much because of the steals. He gets steals, and like okay, I think someone just mentioned the 28% from 3. His usage was ridiculous.
Yeah.
He had in the top 10, I guess I want to say, of usage of all freshmen, maybe even in the country. And like, you're not going to play defense when you're like being used that much off ball. And like, he legitimately didn't have a lot of like, who else from Oklahoma can you see that would even be on a draft board right now? Like, you're not.
Yeah.
And they're in one of the toughest conferences. Like, this is a player. Like, he is a legit player.
Super tough conference. Almost all these shots are off the dribble. He drugged that team to like
The tournament.
a little bit of tournament success. Like they were not good. He was the only good thing that they had going, and he was bludgeoning teams in the paint for like 5-6 games in a row leading up to the tournament. I think he averaged somewhere around like 22, 24 a game in that stretch, had a couple 30-pointers. Like if you're looking for a ceiling, if you're looking for upside, there aren't too many people in this draft you're going to take over him.
No. Yeah. So I just posted it on the Slack, but Coop just posted about how Mark Aguirre basically broke down at the Mavs draft party. Basically, I mean he's been at odds with the franchise since he left in '88, right? So
Yes.
I guess there's at least on someone's part there is some form of reconciliation. So yeah, it's a really touching moment in that sense.
Yeah, I think say what you will about the Mavericks' new leadership, but anyone that was from the organization that was there when he broke away and the relationship soured is no longer there. So it definitely makes sense that if there was going to be reconciliation, it'd be now, because most of the people, I think, working in the front office at least, were not working there, a decade ago or so, or years ago. So that makes sense. But yeah, I saw the clip. Mavs fans, if you haven't watched it, or anyone here, you should watch it. It's pretty powerful. It's pretty cool.
Finally, some good PR, man.
I know.
Was it so hard? Was it so hard? Nico Harrison, did it burn your skin to do this?
I know.
Yes.
Hey,
it did.
you
That's the
guys,
answer.
you guys need to not filibuster. You guys are doing great. I'm just gonna go off camera for a second because I'm hungry and I'm not gonna eat. I'm not gonna eat live on camera. I'm still gonna have my headset on so I can hear y'all. I can jump back in, but I'm just gonna turn off my camera for a second. Is New Orleans on the clock?
New Orleans on the
Yeah.
clock.
They're
Okay,
on
all
the
right.
clock.
So New
Trey
Orleans on the
Johnson.
clock. Trey
Yeah.
Johnson to the Wizards. So yeah, you guys keep going. You're doing fine. I'll be lurking in the shadows for a second.
So
All right.
Trey Johnson.
I
Okay,
have a take
take it.
Okay.
because we're talking about point guards, kind of, but we have been talking about Mavs trading back into the first or late second round, or sorry, late first, early second round. I have a take about who the Mavericks should start at point guard next year. If I was the general manager, what I would do is I would take a point guard. I would try to get back into the draft, and I would take a point guard, whoever that may be. Take your pick. And I would start them from game one. And I would sign like Chris Paul to be his mentor, but I would throw him into the fire while Kyrie's out because the most valuable thing for a young point guard is experience. Yeah. And we can trade for Colin Kneppel and start him at point guard. That's my dream.
Hey, David, do you know who you just described? Who would fit perfectly in the scenario that
Talk
you
to
just
me.
described? That is Walter
Talk to
Clayton Jr., brother. Because
Listen.
not only do you give him the
You can-
on-ball reps, he can shoot. Like he can shoot. And so you
Keep
move him
going.
off ball, and then you let Cooper on the offense at times. And you're giving both of them the on-ball reps that they need to grow. And now by the time Kyrie comes back, you have 3 reliable ball handlers.
That is like my dream. I 99% sure it won't happen because for whatever reason, Nico Harrison has watched D'Angelo Russell the last 6 years and been like, yeah, let's sign this guy. He's great. Sure. I don't know. But like, that's what I would do. I would sign a veteran, Chris Paul. I really don't know who else it would be besides Chris Paul, but just somebody to mentor this guy. I mean, Kyrie can mentor him off the court. I don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Like
Kyrie's still around. He's still there.
Yeah, sure. And then have Brandon Williams be his backup. But like I would start a rookie point guard from game one to get him the reps because I know that the Mavericks probably don't see it the way a lot of us do, but the first 50, 55 games, whatever it is until Kyrie comes back, I don't care if they win. I don't care how many games they win. I just want to build something. And if they win a reasonable amount of games that can get them into the playoffs, and then you have this rookie point guard that is like seasoned, been through some shit, and like gotten teaching from Kyrie Irving, who has been through it all. I don't know, that could get a little then I could be bought into this team in the postseason. That's what would make me buy in a little bit.
Yeah, and then if it's like if
And
it's
the
Walter,
future.
like I said, you can rotate him on, off ball, do the same thing with Coop, and then at that point, Kyrie's back. Maybe late in the season, maybe even next season. Maybe it's just like, you know what, it's not worth it to try this season and potentially get re-injured. So we wait until next year. Whatever it is going to be the case. And to anybody who's like, oh, I don't want to take a guard that's like that small or anything like that. All we do is develop small guards. Look at Brandon Williams. Go back to like Yogi Ferrell. Go back to like JJ Barea.
Roddy Bobois.
All we've been doing for the last 10 to 15 years is developing small guards to come in and play backup minutes and then spot start when our starting guard is hurt. That's all we do. So I don't want to hear complaints about taking a guard and starting a rookie early. I simply do not. The only times they don't start and the only times they don't play early is when they stink, like Jaden Hardy. Otherwise, they play.
And if we're really thinking about it, if we stink in a couple of those games or a lot of those games in the first 30, 40 games while Kyrie is out, that just helps our draft stock for next year. We have let's be in the lottery. I got a guy I want. I'm already thinking about him. It doesn't have to be an early lottery, but something like that actually helps. But I'm with you, David. I really do think we need to get. It would be great to fall back into the first round and pick up a point guard and play them a lot because they need to develop with. Obviously Kyrie is going to come back at some point. I don't know if he's going to be 100% healthy next year. It takes a little bit longer to recover sometimes as you get older. And so it might be something where we get that next season of, 1 year of wash season and the next year of like prime Kyrie coming back, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
do you
I mean-
prefer old guard in the drafts like a Clayton, or do you prefer a younger, like freshman who may not be as fully developed and like more of the Jace Richardson mold?
I would prefer
think,
someone that I can kind of rely on to come in and play a bit early, and I think Walter can do that.
Yeah,
I would too.
I prefer.
too.
I think like 3 to 4 year guards in college generally turn out pretty well in the NBA.
Because
Jalen Brunson.
Right, Brunson
Yeah,
is
they,
the first
they
one
have a
that comes to
higher
mind,
floor
obviously,
typically, as
but-
long as there's not like a huge, blatantly obvious flaw in their game.
Yeah. By the way, Jeremiah Fears to New Orleans.
Yeah, they got their
Yeah,
point
what
guard.
the hell are the Pelicans do? So they've got Poole and Fears and Herb and Trey and Zion and Eve
And
Mason
DeJounte Murray.
and DeJounte Murray,
Oh,
who
yeah.
tore his Achilles and will be back at some point this season.
Ugh, disgusting.
Did he
I'm
tell
not
you
just-
Achilles or did he
positioning for
break his
next year.
hand?
No,
Yeah,
he
he
broke
broke
his
his-
hand first, then he came back, then he tore his Achilles after playing. a
Oh,
little
right,
bit.
right, right.
It was really sad. It was really sad. But I mean, I guess having a few too many guards or one too many guards is better than having none at all. And they had none at all for a while. So
Yeah.
at least one of them could shoot.
One more point
come-
about the Mavs drafting a guard. Jason Kidd is our coach. And when you have Jason Kidd and Kyrie Irving talking in your ear for long enough, you're going to learn something about being a point guard in the NBA. So there's worse situations a point guard could be thrust into a starting role for sure.
If
The
that isn't
quicker
a
you
damning
can-
indictment of Jaden Hardy, then I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
Well,
correct.
he was never going to be.
He's
like
not
an
a point
all-star
guard, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And the quicker you can start developing some two-man game kind of chemistry with a young guard and Cooper.
Oh,
Plus
yeah.
you've got Lively there too. So you've really got like 3 dudes who you can be like, this is it. So
Oh,
I
Lively's there
think
some of the
that's
time.
perfect. Well, and yeah.
Lively
there's
makes an appearance.
Yeah, and
There's
like
that.
a guy like Clayton was like a great scorer out of the pick and roll in college, and was a pretty good passer and playmaker out of the pick and roll. Like his real flaw as a playmaker was just kind of snap decision making. Like he'd be really good in some moments, and others he'd have
Mhm.
tunnel vision. He literally could just use coaching and reps and like better play finishers around him to like help accentuate the things that he does well. And I think we can provide that. And yeah, I just kind of see it as a match made in heaven with him specifically. But if it were also like Nolan Traore or some guard, like maybe towards the back end of the 20s, even if it's like in the early 30s, like a Javon Small or something like that, somebody that you just know
Yes.
can play.
Yes.
I'm in on Ben Saraf, the lefty. We need
I
more lefties.
think I'm a little out on Saraf, but I don't mind it if his shot comes together.
Yeah.
We can all just agree anybody but Tyrese Proctor.
Yeah, I'm just
Oh,
not.
man.
If Proctor were just like, and it's funny because like I was watching Hoop Intellect's draft profile on him, or a little mini profile on his big board, Keandre's. If he were just a little bit better at any of the skills that he's kind of decent at, he's a better prospect, and he probably is a little bit closer to the first round. But he's not.
Yeah.
Like he's
Well, the Proctor
kind of a good shooter.
the Proctor thing is like, what do you believe in the shot? Do you believe the 2.5
Yeah.
years of work that you saw previously, or do you believe the month that you saw at the end? Like that's basically it. Like,
Right,
if
and you know where
you
I
tell me
stand.
your answer-
I'm not rolling.
yeah, you trust a larger sample size, but you tell me your answer there. I tell you, you want Proctor either in the 20s or you don't want him at all. Like that's kind of the main difference.
Oh
Yeah.
no. We just got to confirm that Ace did not want to go to Utah, and the quote per Draft Express, they just drafted him anyway, which is incredible.
Awesome.
It's
So what are
very
you gonna do
funny.
about it.
This is fantastic.
Oh man, yeah. Look, I was laughing on the timeline earlier. And not to digress too far, but I was laughing on the timeline earlier with a friend. Like, yeah, he's doing all this finagling, and then like you go back a couple of years, like Tyrese Halliburton's telling 10 different teams at least, like, yeah, don't draft me. Nobody's gonna call that bluff. What are they gonna do?
Exactly.
Like, I find the draft system unfair as a concept, but as long as it's in place, if I like you, guess what? I'm pressing the button, and you can fight with me when his contract's on in town, I guess.
Is this
But,
Brooklyn?
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know what Brooklyn's doing.
Yeah, they're showing
Picks
Brooklyn's.
in, so
Yeah, they're like celebrating, but
What I mean is like they have 5 picks in the first round.
whoa.
Oh, they're moving them. They're definitely moving.
Oh,
I
Wait,
don't
don't spoil.
you want it spoiled?
spoil it, please.
Okay. Sure, I guess spoil it.
Excuse me.
The Brooklyn Nets are taking Yegor Dimon.
Oh, that is not good.
Whoa.
Why? He would have been there. So for
They could have just had him at 19.
What?
I was
Wow.
literally like, that's someone.
Wow.
Like, if he falls to the 20s, maybe we can. Wow.
Does Mikhail Prokhorov still own the Nets?
There's something going on.
The ghost
Get
of
Bobby.
them, yes.
Where is Bobby Marks? Somebody lay eyes on Bobby Marks right now.
What the hell?
What is going on?
I think I would have taken Malowatch right there.
Dude, there are like 10 guys I would have taken before Yegor Dimon at this point.
If you want a point guard, Jakachonis is like I would have been like, hey, like that's
Actually better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh my.
I mean,
Like they
Charlotte
need
said
playmaking, and Fears just went. I get the concept, but
Playmaking, take Traore.
you could have gone with a
Like,
much
26.
higher ceiling. Like,
they need anything.
oh,
I mean,
Brother,
Charlotte
ugh.
said that we want to start making smart basketball decisions, and Brooklyn said, "I mean, we got you. We take over the stupid
Oh
from
my
here."
dear.
I got
That's what
what
they
wait,
said.
hold on. What if it's like, hey, it's too rich to get, to get Demon with the Utah pick. So Brooklyn comes in and picks him up at 8, and then's like, I'm gonna trade him to Utah since he played at BYU, and have something else to sweeten the package. That might be
maybe
what's
they're holding them for somebody, but this better coalesce like pretty quickly. Otherwise, I will not be able to make sense of it.
yeah.
No, man, this makes zero
That's a
sense.
shocker.
What the entire
So now what does Toronto do? Because all of a sudden they have Malowatch fall into their lap.
I mean, that sounds
That's
like
it?
that's what they're gonna do. That
That's
or Carter
what it
Bryant.
That's
Add to the
what-
long arm brigade.
And they've been like heavily rumored with a Senge.
Dude, what is Toronto
yeah.
doing
No,
just
no one makes so
in
much
general?
sense for them. Yeah,
Like Toronto doesn't even know what they're doing in general.
I won't lie. Offensively, it is a disgusting fit, but defensively, no on the Raptors is actually pretty tough. No on the Raptors is actually it's pretty nice.
Toronto's just one of those teams. I agree. It's like, what are we doing here?
Well, Toronto just
No.
loves to draft a bunch of players who are like, man, look at this defensive playmaking. Man, look at this wingspan. Man, these guys don't fit at all on offense.
No, I think Toronto's ethos is athlete first or like freak of nature first. Like, I mean, that's basically the thing.
Yeah, they've been the toolsy team for about a decade now, and it's resulted in a title when they had Kawhi Leonard. But every year they didn't have Kawhi Leonard except for
Yep.
the 21 season where the whole team just kind of went crazy in the regular season and in the playoffs when Pascal Siakam lost his mind. Other than that, it hasn't really resulted in much for them.
I mean, Jake Fisher he linked to one of his posts earlier where he was talking about talking to the BYU head coach, who said that Igor Demon has the highest upside in the draft behind Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper.
Well, that's if he can figure out how to shoot the basketball.
Yeah, I like his upside if he can score off the dribble and shoot, but not that much.
And if
Yeah.
you need some separation, like
Like respect the ace, respect Ace, respect VJ, respect Trey. I don't know about that.
We'll probably all be wrong.
right.
He'll probably be
Yeah.
the best player.
I doubt that, but he's gonna get the reps. I know that because they ain't got nobody else on that team that can dribble the ball except Cam Thomas.
Mhm.
Oh man.
This
God,
what they
if-
were standing up and cheering for.
If Malowatch falls all the way to 10 for Phoenix and they don't take him,
I mean, they got their pick
Toronto's
back.
taking him. I think Toronto's taking him.
I think Phoenix is not gonna be picking at 10. OKC is definitely getting that 10th pick for 15 and 24.
Oh, that Brooklyn fan He said, "Who is that?"
Fuming.
Honestly, you can't be like he can't like if there's a Brooklyn fan that said, "Who is that?" Like, one, they either haven't been watching college basketball, they've seen no. I mean, like everybody's been talking about this guy for months, but it's also been like he was on a real heater at the beginning of the year, and then like fell off a cliff shooting wise. Like if he was paying, I guess. See that?
I mean, the casual fan is not watching BYU basketball.
Correct.
Yeah. Is the casual fan at the draft?
At the NBA draft.
Yeah,
If you can afford to be, yeah.
yeah.
I'm a casual fan.
In fact, I would say
with my Wednesday.
it's 90%
It's
casual.
90% casuals, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
That's the Brooklyn version of the Knicks.
dude.
Who the fuck
Is
is
that
Every
PJ
time I see,
Carlesimo?
dude, I was about to say every time I see PJ Carlesimo somewhere, it's the most random place, and it's like a jump scare. He's just like slumped over at
I'm like, oh my
the
God,
scores table, sitting
Who is
there.
this gigantic troll just at the table? Shout out PJ Carlesimo, man.
I've seen him
Oh
like
my God,
5
yeah, that's
times on
him.
broad.
Oh,
Wasn't he at the NBA finals? Like he was like doing some.
Yeah, he was doing radio.
He does ESPN radio.
Well, I'm really
Oh, okay.
he's not getting
PJ
choked
is a
out.
man about
That makes
town. He just pop up at places. It seems like.
I'm glad he's not getting choked out. I mean, that's a
Holy
bonus.
shit! I forgot, dude. I forgot Brandon Ingram was on the Raptors. Oh my God.
No,
Yeah.
I remembered.
yep.
Oh man, the
Crap.
Raptors are such a funny team. It's like what? RJ Barrett, Grady Dick, Brandon
Isaiah
Ingram,
Quick or Emmanuel Quickly.
Emmanuel Quickly,
They couldn't even get
Scotty Barnes.
Let's
not
talk about
bad.
how it's been an hour and there's been 8 picks.
There have been no trades. What the
Yeah,
hell?
no
This was
trades.
supposed to be the draft where everyone went nuts.
Well, there just may be no trades before the picks are made. Once
There-
the picks are made, we might see some start flying.
We're
There's gonna
about
be
to
a
get
bunch
to
of
the
trades,
teams
like,
with
back
multiple
half of this
picks.
draft.
We'll get there.
Yeah, right.
There's no way Brooklyn's gonna pick 5 more people.
That would be funny though.
OKC wants.
That would be really
San
funny if
Antonio
Brooklyn
wants
just had
to move.
20 guys and they cut like half of the like 5 dudes that were already on the team.
They have
They've got
5
all this
picks.
cap space. They're like, yeah, we can take them. What do you mean? We're ready to take these rookies in.
They have 5 open roster spots, I think. So like they could
Do they?
Yeah, so they could draft
Oh,
5,
God.
but they still are drafting 6.
And they have 36. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what
I
they're
mean-
doing.
They're
If-
actually moneyballing it.
Okay, I have a question. If Malawach falls to 10 and you're the Rockets, do you trade Şengün and take Malawach?
That's Phoenix.
That's Phoenix. Yeah, it's no because
I'm
of
an
the
idiot.
KD
I
trade.
forgot about that. All right, well, that answers that question.
Oh, the pick is finally in. Do not know who it is yet.
We don't know who it is, but they
Took their
definitely
sweet
have
time,
the camera
though.
squarely on Common Malawat. So
Right, they're like, this is
there's
him.
that.
It's got to be him. I mean, this is like perfect for them.
I hope they take someone stupid here, like Colin Murray Boyles or something.
They need rim protector and availability.
David, you called it.
Wait, did they actually?
Wait, did they actually
They took
take CMB?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh,
They're
okay.
an idiotic franchise. They
Colin
love
Murray
those
Boyles.
6'7" dudes.
Colin Murray
man.
Boyles to the Raptors.
To the Raptors.
I don't hate that.
He's
I cannot
college
believe-
Julius Randle for me.
Dude, I cannot believe that,
I don't hate that.
the Suns are getting bailed out like this. Like Malawat should not have fell to them. And now
He
they're getting
shouldn't
Bill
have,
Center.
but
Oh,
I mean,
it's-
hold on. So I'm not even the biggest CMB believer. I went and I watched a bit of scout tape on that. Yo, I get it. like Masai specifically for that team, I get it. If you could put that guy behind Scotty and let Scotty play Romer at the 4, and then you just like can put like offensive guys who can like maybe defend on the perimeter a little bit in front of them. I see the vision, especially if you're planning on moving on from who's the center's name? That's Jakob.
Hurdle.
At some point soon, I would get it. So I get how they land here. This is incredibly fortuitous for Phoenix. I can't wait to see how they mess this up.
I mean, Phoenix
Oh,
is
we're about
basically
to
like
get
all.
a spectacular pick from Phoenix.
Phoenix is all just basically 2 guards and like 1 center, right? If they pick Malawat.
2 guards.
Can they just draft who is
7 guards?
Who's the Israeli kid that they took like a fourth one year? What in front of like that was like some kind of Porzingis light. I can't even remember his
Dragon
name. It's been so
Bender?
long. Dragon Bender, yeah.
Was he Israeli?
I can't remember. I know for
Oh, I
certain
think he
Jewish.
was,
I think he plays yarmulke.
I feel like I would have known if Dragon Bender was Jewish.
He was Croatian. I'm back.
I was gonna say no way.
CMB does not look
Hey, what am I
happy to
thinking?
head to Canada.
Trust me, I
don't
know all
if
the
that dude
Jewish
has a
basketball
passport.
players.
No,
Yeah,
you know what I
Amari
was thinking of?
Stoudemire.
I heard Omri Caspi's name, but Amari starting with Amari.
Starting with Amari Stoudemire. First and foremost. Hey, he's like really active in the Jewish community now.
Yeah, for certain.
Is CMB
Which is like crazy. He just randomly one day was like, all right, I'm gonna be the face of Jewish basketball.
I remember that day, and I was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go play in the league in Israel. I said, oh, okay,
sure.
brother, whatever you want to do.
Did you guys just see that Cooper Flagg in his press conference was asked about the conspiracy theory that the NBA was rigged for the rigged the lottery for the Mavs?
Now what? What'd he say?
Who asked a draft prospect that question, man? Reporters, NBA media is wild.
Get him out of here, man. Who did that?
I was
Why?
wondering why Colin Murray Boyle's girlfriend was just as tall as he was, and it's she plays on apparently South Carolina's basketball team. So
That would make sense.
She's probably better than he is, honestly. At least
Oh, yeah.
her team was.
Dude, if she's also like 6'9", 6'8", 6'7", yeah, probably.
well, if she's 6'9", she's taller than him.
Wait, how? He's like
He's 6'7".
Oh, that's right.
7. Yeah,
My bad.
that's why he's like the undersized.
6'6.5".
Yeah, that's right. I forgot the Draymond comps. Yeah, he's like 6'6.5". Okay, that's still pretty tall though.
Josh, do you have any Yegor Demon thoughts?
I don't. Guys, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I don't. That sounds like a name generator name to me. I don't know who that
He
is.
sounds
I
like
wish you had the slightest idea who Yegor was, because I think you would find this incredibly funny.
If if the Mavs stayed at 11, you would have learned about Yegor Demon, and you would have probably hated him.
Okay, that's funny.
Oh,
Is-
yeah, you would have learned
is-
so much about him against your will.
Yeah. Is that how you pronounce his name, Yegor? I've been calling him Igor.
Yeah, it's Yegor.
I think it's Yegor, yeah.
Yeah.
But all the smart draft people that I follow, they all pronounce it that way, so I am following suit until I get corrected.
Yeah.
CMB to the Raptors.
That is.
CMB just like man, like it just his athleticism just.
Dude, his reflexes in his hand-eye coordination. That's why he's so great. Like he's athletic for a dude his size, but also like he doesn't have the quickest feet. He just has hands.
Haven't the Raptors basically taken this type of player 8 years in a row?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, except they're usually not this.
And
good.
they've
Like, I think he's
traded
actually good.
type of player
Except for
every single year.
Grady Dick. Like
Yeah, except for
Well, yeah, Grady.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
forgot Grady Dick existed. Yeah.
proposed.
He's gonna be on that
Okay,
team, too.
never mind. I thought we had a trade coming, but no, it's there. I was like, hold on, yo.
Didn't the Raptors draft a guy who was it Fran Fascilla who said that he was 2 years away from being 2 years away?
Bruno Caboclo, baby.
That's a perfect line for Yegor.
Yeah, Yegor actually is like. I think he's only 2 years away,
I
but
think so. I mean,
who's
he's
the most 2 years away from 2 years away guy that we think is probably going to go in the top 20?
No clue, actually.
You all went silent. This is bad podcasting, but I'm thinking like
Traore, maybe?
It's one of the French
But his
guys.
playmaking is
no one's a
already...
good winner.
No, I don't think he's that raw. I think he can settle in quite well, particularly
His
from what
playmaking's
he's-
there.
what about
Yeah.
Playmaking there, his defense is fine.
What about Hugo Gonzalez?
Oh yeah,
Hugo's
That
definitely
could be
Hugo's a
one.
candidate.
Yeah,
Hugo's a candidate.
I think Hugo Gonzalez.
Behringer could be too.
Yeah, Behringer's raw though. You know, like if you could stash him or something like that would be great. You know, like but he's another 2 years.
Noah Penda.
Okay, I have
Maybe.
a question. Has a
Essenge?
stashed player ever worked out
No.
besides Rubio? Maybe was Rubio stashed? for
I
you?
think Ricky might have been the only one.
Like there's never been a player that has been drafted and not gone to the team immediately that's worked out. I feel like.
Wasn't
And-
Roddy B stashed?
Well, are we counting Roddy B as
I can't
working out?
remember.
I mean, he had that one game in Golden
They did
State.
win a
The
ring.
Mavericks have a player currently
He
stashed.
won a ring.
Melvin and
Oh my
Melvin.
God,
Oh,
they
Melvin
do.
Adinsa. Yeah, I almost forgot about Melvin. Yeah,
We have Melvin Ajinsa.
I got to check in on him. I wonder. Last I saw, he looked pretty good.
God.
No, he looked terrible the last time I saw him.
Oh no!
Like
I'm
I
glad
looked
saw
at
him
him
more
this
recently than
season and
I-
I was like, maybe we got something here because I was so out on him in the draft. I was like, no, please don't.
Yeah, I was mad we drafted him and not Justin Edwards. And look at Justin
Yeah.
Edwards. He got actual minutes for an actual.
You guys
NBA team
having
last year.
hot takes for the 54th pick of a draft. I love
Oh
it.
man, I was
No, Josh, you don't understand. I
Thank
was
you.
so hot. I was so hot they didn't just draft Justin. So, because I'm a Kentucky men's basketball fan too. So, like, I was also just like, I wanted to see Justin get drafted, and they took that from me. Fine, but they took that from me to draft some French kid that nobody knew who the like. Isn't
I mean,
he
we
like
knew who he
Alexis Aginsa's cousin? I think
Yeah.
that's the only way we knew him.
Yeah.
and I really wanted us to get Cam Spencer around that spot.
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like, yeah, I was like, that's a spot for him. That's a spot, and like we were like, nah. And didn't we trade up for him?
I think we traded into because we didn't have a pick at all. And we traded into the second round to get at like 54 or 55, something like that. Yeah.
We have a trade.
We finally. Oh my goodness.
What do we got?
Per
Is it a good one?
Shams, the Charlotte Hornets are trading center Mark Williams to the Phoenix Suns for the number 29 pick tonight and a 2029 first round pick.
Mark Williams.
They gave up 2 firsts for Mark Williams.
And Phoenix
Wait,
taking Malawatch at 10.
wait, what?
So they are
That's
doubling up
horrible.
on centers.
That is horrible.
No, actually, I think that might be a smart play. I mean,
For who?
for Phoenix, you need.
Well, taking
you need,
Malawatch, yeah, but not trading for Mark Williams. They gave him 2 firsts.
Boy, Matt Ishby is out his rabbit ass mind.
I mean, yeah, the picks are crap, but I think doubling up on centers
That's the whole
considering they have
thing.
no size. I think that's.
If there's no protections on that 2029 first rounder, that could be a top 5 pick.
The Hornets said
What in
they
the
want to
world?
be smart.
That's a good trade. That is
They
objectively
traded
better
trash
than the
for
one
2
that they got
firsts.
to the Lakers. That is
Hornets got
objectively
better
better
today.
than the Laker trade that got shut down at the deadline.
Hornets got a lot better today.
What was
Oh my
the
goodness.
Lakers trade? It would have been a 2020
Connect
Connect and then the 2029
and that
first.
29 pick.
No, the
yeah.
2031 pick.
Oh, that's right, 2031.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah,
I
this
think it
is
was one
better.
other
They get
player to
the-
make salary work, but it was like somebody
Connect.
not worth anything.
I would rather. Yeah, I don't know. Connect better than whatever the 29th pick in this draft will be.
Given our
Probably.
propensity for the 29th
don't know.
pick, probably not.
Probably not.
No,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know which
don't
one's
think
better.
I think.
I think
I mean,
the Lakers
Connect is
one might be
good.
better. Yeah, the Lakers.
Next,
lot
just
bigger.
limited.
So. Nah,
Like he's
Connect
a
is.
he's a shooter. He can shoot the pill. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but he's a
like,
shooter that couldn't like get consistent tick on a team that desperately needed shooting.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess
but
we'll
also
see
on a
who's picked at
team-
29.
playoff team. That's hard.
That's true. That's also part of it, Josh.
Yeah.
So that's fair. I saw JJ like look like he wanted to strangle this dude too many times to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
this dude is definitely good. Like, no doubt about it. Let's give up something valuable for him. Like, I'll wait on that. I'm not completely out on it, but
So if
don't know.
Mark Williams is worth 2 first-round picks, what can you get for Daniel Gafford?
yeah. Come on, man. Come on.
Hey,
Why
and-
are we talking about taxpayer mid-level point?
Yeah,
Go get a point guard with Gafford.
I'm convinced that like
Chicago's about to
probably
pick a few
outside
picks.
of like Boston, Oklahoma City, I don't maybe 1 or 2 more. All of these GMs are so stupid. Like you can get, I feel like you can get a good deal with any of these guys. Unfortunately, the Mavs fall into the stupid category too. But
Yep. No,
There's
if
like-
we were trading Daniel Gafford, we are giving up 2 first-round picks for something.
Oh wait. So
That's
the
right.
2029 pick, the Phoenix traded, the least favorable of Cleveland, Utah, and Minnesota. If it's Minnesota, I think it's top 5 protected, or maybe
that's
it's top
too
5
much.
protected.
That
For all
is
3.
already too much.
But it's
That's
only the top
basically
5
common.
protection, and it's the worst of like Cleveland, Utah, and Minnesota. It'll probably be in the 20s, but that's still 2 firsts. for Mark Williams? Why?
I don't know, man.
I mean, I think that's because they like Maluach, but they don't want to throw him in the fire because he's so raw.
Sure, you can get a center off the
Okay.
trash sheet for less than that,
Yeah.
and one that'll play, not Mark Williams.
Yeah, Mark Williams
I
is
think
genuinely terrible.
Care about
I
draft.
think Boogie Cousins just got suspended from Puerto Rico, so he's available. Could have signed him.
Yeah, he's definitely available.
I think Jabari Parker's available too. If you're looking at players that used to play in the NBA,
Boban.
Boban.
Boban wants to make a return. I just listened to him on a podcast.
Hey man, I seen who the Nets was throwing out there all last season. Boban can get some minutes for somebody now.
Mm-hmm.
We finna draft Hanson Yang in the late 20s, man. Boban can get some minutes for somebody. And then I like Hanson Yang.
I like Hanson, yeah.
Wasn't Hanson Yang like David's favorite player?
We are not drafting Hanson Yang. I'll tell you that much.
Not here, but hey, look, y'all laughing. Hanson Yang finna get some post buckets on somebody this season.
No. I'm not. This is not about how good he is. If his name was Derek Smith and he went to Auburn, maybe. But we are not drafting Hanson Yang. Nico is not drafting Hanson Yang.
Nico's not allowing that. What'd you say, David? What's his name?
I said if his name was Derek Smith and he went to Auburn, maybe Nico would consider him. But he's not drafting Hanson Yang.
I don't know. He does have
can
his
we
own
just
clothing
trade
line.
Gafford outright for like a mid-teens pick and just draft Walter Clayton? Could we just do that at this point?
Chicago's coming up at 12. Let's go get Kobe.
Yeah, I feel emboldened. I feel empowered. I feel crazed. What is this
Giving me
trade?
life. I'm ready to go. Come on, fire up
It's
the
giving
trade
me new
machine.
mania. I don't understand this.
Hey, I would be on the phone with Brooklyn, honestly. I would be like, look, you're going to tell you, what do you want to have, like rookies all up and down your roster? Or would you rather have Omax and Hardy for one of those kids? And I just
Yo,
balls.
Gafford, you're going to need a center. I know that because y'all not going to keep Claxton. I know that. The Lakers going to come knocking. You have Omax. He's really tall and like tall.
He's got big calves.
and like he runs fast and he's tall. Like
Yeah,
y'all
he does
want
some
him,
of those
right?
things.
He ain't making much money. We can have 19 and like 27 for them, right? Come on.
Jaden Hardy and Cam Thomas they would sell tickets.
Jaden Hardy and Cam Thomas are getting into a fist fight over the ball in the very first practice.
Probably true.
Yeah, with Igor Demon being the peacemaker between those two.
He's not going to be the piece. Look, there's one dude who gave the Nets like an efficient 25 last year, and there's a dude who couldn't score 20 points on like the Charlotte Hornets last year.
Ooh,
And
another
they are both equally
Trade
fighting
number
for the ball.
2.
Trade number 2.
We're here.
Portland are taking Cedric Coward and then trading him to the Memphis Grizzlies at 11.
Wow.
Howard to
All the good
Memphis. I
players
love
in the
that.
Mavs division.
For what?
God.
Oh,
They
Howard to
haven't
Memphis.
listed what the actual details. They've just listed the pick.
Well, Memphis picks. They're probably
Memphis
giving him.
picked 16.
Yeah, so they're probably moving down to 16, I would
Yep.
imagine, and then maybe giving him something else, maybe like a second, maybe future pick.
I think there's a big jump there, though. I mean, like that. They're getting
Maybe they're giving him a future first.
I was about to say it's
Yeah,
probably a
no.
future first.
Yeah. It has to be something like that because, man, wow, okay,
That's interesting.
yeah.
That is amazing for Memphis.
That's really
dude.
good.
Probably one of those Orlando firsts that they just got.
This is like
Is Jaw better
it's
too?
definitely one of those picks. This is the wing they've been looking for like since they drafted Ja, and they just got him out of the blue.
Wait, Cedric
Oh, that's
Howard's a
disgusting.
wing?
Yeah.
Yes, he is a
I
6'6".
thought he was a point guard. I got him and conking up
No,
his
no.
positions mixed up.
He's that's what he's a shooting guard. He's a 2-3, longest arms you've ever seen.
7 foot.
Very bouncy. Looks like he's going to be a really good shooter. Really like that as a perimeter defender. Oh my god, yeah, that's actually kind of nasty. I don't like that.
Yeah, like 7'1", 7'2" wingspan, I think.
Yeah,
If there's one thing you can count on, it's the Grizzlies being annoyingly great. in the draft.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
and this isn't
Trailblazers
even,
being
like-
incompetent. Like, what are they doing this offseason?
Yeah, and this isn't even like super scrappy player at like between 22 and 40. This is in the lottery. They're doing this.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
disgusting.
Did you guys just see
Oh,
this
poor
clip
Malika
where-
Andrews just pronounced Cedric Coward as Colin Cowherd.
Oh
Are you serious?
man.
They just picked up Colin Cowherd. Oh no.
Well,
Did you guys
Yeah.
just see this? That CMB just went fuck after getting drafted by the Raptors.
Yeah. Shades of Zach Levine.
I was gonna say, yeah, it might be a happy fuck. Like, who knows? But
It could be that.
that's funny. That's funny.
Do y'all listen to the Mismatch? It's Chris Verdon's podcast with The Ringer.
Yeah.
Did you hear the story where he went to a Target and he picked up a pack of cards and
Yes.
he ran into a guy who was like, keep your eye on Cedric Coward. And this was like 3 months ago. And Memphis just traded for him.
That's fantastic.
That's
Oh,
nuts.
yeah, I didn't even think
I haven't
about
listened
that.
to the mismatch in a while. I did not know that. That's hilarious, actually.
I think he
He's
told that
victory
story
lapping
on
Twitter.
he told that story on Bill Simmons' podcast too.
Yeah.
Him and Nick Clifford are the exact same size when they hug. This is crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
By-
so good.
It's not that
By the way, another thing, Phoenix are now. This is the first time I've ever heard this. Phoenix are out of tradable future first-round picks after trading the 2029 pick and the 29th pick in this draft.
That is insane.
I've never seen anybody like exhaust all the tradable picks.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that I can remember anyway.
Phoenix doesn't care. The Rockets have one of their pick. I was like, are they bottoming out and going to give the Rockets a lottery pick next year or 2 years from now, whatever it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
You seen
the
it? Okay.
Grizzlies are sending 16 and a 2028 first-round pick via Orlando.
Yep. There you go.
And
And-
2 seconds for
Second.
Portland, I think. Yeah.
So,
that-
question
yeah.
for the group. So this upcoming Chicago pick, this is theoretically where the Mavericks should have been picking if the odds played out as they should, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, who's on the board? So now imagine the Mavericks didn't win the lottery. They're picking right now 12th. The board is the way it is. Are you guys? What does it look like? Does it look bad? Does it look good? Or like, can you just imagine that alternate reality? Obviously, going down from Cooper would be awful for the Mavs, but just I'm curious if in that other reality, if the board was the way it is right now, and they had to pick, what would you guys be feeling?
It is. Oh, what will we be feeling? I was because what the team
Yeah.
will do, it would be Kasper's Jonas, and I would be throwing up over my laptop right now. What I would do
I
here,
agree with that. I think that's a good point actually.
what I would do here, yeah, I'm just taking Walter. I'm just taking Walter at this point.
I'm taking
Walter or
Meek.
Neek, one of the two. Yeah, exactly. The two of the best playmakers left, who can like also do other things. Give me Walter or Neek, and I'm perfectly fine.
At 12? No, I think that's a little too high for them.
Not
It
too
is,
high
but
I
if
for
you're
don't-
your
stuck
guy.
picking, I think you
It's a
would
bunch of
rather
bigs
take
and
that.
wings left, and we got too many of those. I would take one of those, Dot. And
Yeah.
like Carter Bryant here, nah, don't need it. Jace,
No, but I think Jonas might be might be a better value pick at 12.
I think those other two guys are better than Kasper's. That's me though. Like that's just my opinion.
I was gonna say Walter Clayton as well. Is what I would do.
I think he's good, and I think that a lot of how people who are a bit more down on Jonas feel about him has to do with how he played for the majority of the back half of the season after he got injured, when the turnovers ramped up and the ability to blow by defenders kind of, if it existed at all, went completely non-existent, and then the shot was also a little wonky. Like it looked really bad towards the end, and if a lot of people are judging him off of that, then I can see why they'd be down on him. I'm down on him just because I'm like kind of out. I think he's too turnover prone, just like in general, and isn't as a good enough like shooter, like on ball scorer to make it work. But I can see teams seeing the vision with him, and he's going to be a lottery pick, and he probably should be.
But basically, I mean, to answer Josh, I think it's like the best guard available.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever you think the best guard or like playmaker is left.
Yeah.
Who is shaping? I mean, we're still 10 picks away from, I think, the range the Mavericks would trade back into. But are there guards in that range that you guys like? I think you guys talked about it before. Look, I'm a draft. I don't know anything. I just rely on what you guys tell me. So I don't have as many takes tonight. I'm more facilitator. So that's all I got.
I can give you my post that was on Mavs Moneyball if you want to plug the site for a minute.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. Tyler, plug.
So in the post that I had that posted on Monday, which was a few guards the Mavericks could draft that would help them immediately. Those names included Nick Clifford out of Colorado State, Walter Clayton out of Florida, Nolan Traore out of France, which is going to be a controversial one, and Javon Small out of West Virginia.
Okay. Rank order those for you.
Oh, I like
So
that.
I think it depends on the selection. If we're taking Brooklyn's pick at 19, it probably goes Neek, then Walter Clayton, then Traore, and then Small. But that's because I think Small's more of like if you trade into the early second round, he's not getting any first round buzz, but he'd also be easier to acquire. It would take less. So I guess it depends on kind of what you want to play ball with. Do you want to give up a real asset, or do you want to just kind of send off some future seconds and some money? Like, I guess that you kind of choose your own adventure. But I'm probably higher on Nick Clifford than most, just because I love the way he plays. He's a great rebounder. He's 6'5". He averaged 10 rebounds a game at Colorado State. So just absolutely high motor, going to go out and get it. And he's a good shooter. Shot 37% last year from three. So that, if you could find any spacing for him, sign me up. And then obviously Brian's talked a lot about Walter, and I'm right there with him. I love Walter Clayton a lot. So Traore is interesting just because the playmaking I think is there. He's a pretty good assist guy already in France. But the shot is just bad. The shot is very, very inconsistent. But if you're looking for like a floor general type, he's probably the best remaining that can just see the floor and make plays. So kind of choose your own adventure. But those would be the three that I would say if you're trading into the early 20s, that's who you're going out for.
Yeah, dude. Nick is like a playmaking wing forward on this team. Like Josh, Nick is. What if Josh Hart had like the shooting development that Lou Dort did the last year and a half? Like he became that level of shooter where it's like, okay, you actually got to respect this dude from out here, and was also not that kind of like defender on ball, but was that good at like all of the other skills, the hustle, the rebounding, running the floor both ways, finishing, passing. This dude doesn't really have holes in his game. Nick is like an incredibly testament to like his own hard work and the work of the coaches at schools that he's been to. Okay. I love that dude, and I think he's going to be great.
That's a good sell. Who the hell did the Bulls just take?
Noah Singh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a trade at 13, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Atlanta trading 13 to New Orleans for 23. And an unprotected 2026 first round pick, which is the most favorable of New Orleans and Milwaukee.
New Orleans moved up for Derek Queen, by the way.
Yeah, Jake Fisher said they're taking Derek Queen.
Okay,
Queen with Zion.
Yikes!
I have a quick on the
an unprotected first
in 2026
to move
out
up
of the Pels or Milwaukee. So that could be really interesting.
The most favorable of them.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great pick. They did really well there.
The one thing about the draft I'll say is like we would have only drafted 12th if we lost the coin toss. Or we won the coin toss, so we would have actually drafted 11, which means we would have been able to get Cedric Howard.
Correct.
There's no way they would have taken him though, considering the roster, right?
Who knows what they would have done?
I'm not gonna hold you. I love Nick and Walter.
Good point,
it would have been a long day between Nick, Walter, and Cedric Howard. Especially if it's like, okay, Clay, this Luka's not here anymore. The playmaking situation isn't quite the same. This isn't what you signed up for. Let's get you to a contending situation and try and get some value back for you. And that 2 spot is open. It would have been tough for me.
I mean, is it just that he's from Washington State, and he got picked at 11? But is he a Klay Thompson regen?
Not Clay, because look, Clay, he is big and large and long the way that Clay was. I think he's a better athlete than Clay was. He's not nearly the shooter, obviously. That you're not going to get me to say that anybody was the shooter that Clay was. Yeah. But he looks like he's going to be pretty good from the outside. And yeah, he can be that kind of dude you just throw onto smaller guards at some point, and just because of his length and like his lateral quickness, he can just stay in front of them, like on some Spider-Man stuff, the way that Clay was in closer to his prime. So I could see it in that way, yeah.
Yeah, again, 7'2" wingspan.
Yeah.
You know, 6'6" guy with a 7'2" wingspan with like a 38, 39 vertical. Something crazy like that. Just, I don't know. I would have really wanted. I mean, he signed with. Yes, he went to Washington State, but he was signed on for Duke. So it was either go into the draft or stay with Duke. And I don't know, if we had 11, that I would have been like kind of in.
Yeah, it's like what your shooting guard. Like you get by your defender at the top, the center's up, the shooting guard is the one crashing down to like come help from the weak side, and you have a dude like Shea's size, except jumps like 7 inches higher, and like longer arms meeting you at the rim like that. Yeah, that dude is gonna be so good on defense when he's older.
Can we just talk about how Atlanta is loading up and taking advantage of a kind of crazy Eastern Conference?
Oh, Atlanta's good.
They basically traded for a lottery pick next season, and they've got Porzingis. They're doing well.
I have a question. If the Mavs were in the Eastern Conference, how much differently would we be talking about this team?
Oh, they'd be a top 5 team easy.
I'd be calling them crazy not to go for it at that point. I think they probably got to do it better than what they're doing right now, but draft's still going, so we'll see. But yeah, no, the contention talk would be a lot less crazy if it was in the East.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of disgusting basketball next year, like with the injuries and the, like top heaviness of the league.
And even some of the good teams. It sounds like Boston doesn't sound like they're done moving yet. It's going to be.
I don't know what Boston's doing. Like, if I was Boston, I'd be like, I got away with murder on those 2 trades. I don't even want to risk messing another one up.
Don't deal with Brad Stevens. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, no, that dude is a phone demon. Do not call him. Do not. There's no need to try and negotiate with him.
I will say there's a lot of teams that are going to be bad next year, and next year's draft is going to be so good. Like, just pouring into some of the stuff that I've done already for next year, I'm like, oh my God. The guy, like, there's whether you have like the top 2 or whatever. I mean, I don't know how how things are going to shape up, but next year's draft looks so good. Like, it's we're like, I really hope we don't do anything with our draft pick, like, because that would be the worst thing if we got rid of it or something.
No, 2026 is saying like a chance at AJ, Cam, Darren, like at the top, like those 3. And then you think about all the guys that went back.
A lot of good college role players who went back.
LeBaron Philon, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yaxel.
Yeah, no, 2026 is going to be kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah, there's a Mexican player I'm really in on, Kareem Lopez.
Oh,
yeah? He plays in the NBL.
Okay.
I'm really in on him, but obviously that's just because nationality wise, that's something that I've talked about is like, how do we get Mexico to have better players? And like, he is one of the futures of like Mexican basketball. So he's already played.
What position does he play?
He plays the 3 and the 4, mostly 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
what was his name? You said Kareem Lopez?
Kareem Lopez, yeah.
Okay.
He just signed with Adidas. Yeah, he plays in the NBL.
Oh man.
Write that down.
So this is New Orleans picking, right? Oh no, this is the Derek Queen pick.
It's New Orleans taking Derek Queen.
Right.
Who's 14 again?
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Ooh.
They were a big coward rumor too.
San
I've
Antonio.
also
should
seen a
trade
lot
this
of
pick.
mocks. I've also seen a lot of mocks take Behringer here, which is interesting. He'd
David,
be
did you guys
interesting next to Wemby.
David, what did
did
you
you guys
say?
see the news? Did you guys see the news that Wemby is not playing Eurobasket?
Really?
I
Yep.
saw that and I wasn't surprised. Like the deep vein thrombosis, he like just kind of got back and got clearance from that not too long ago, and
Yep.
and he still had to get like his body back into basketball shape for that. I figured it was going to be too soon for him to play Eurobasket, so it's unfortunate. We're not going to get to see him, but I know for sure he's going to play. He's one of those guys like Luka, where like if he can play for his national team, he's going to play, even though they're like stacked. It doesn't really matter to him. He wants to be out there. So
No, so I don't think the French team is going to do that well in Eurobasket. No Rudy, no Wemby, no. I mean, I don't think they're going to be up there like they probably would have been if they had those two guys.
they have so much young talent though. They might get like some of these young guys thrown into like do we think is Nolan Traore actually playing for them? Do we know that? Like he might make the
That's
roster.
not
I
been
don't know who
confirmed.
else is going to be.
Derek Queen
Ja-
played with Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, Montverde.
Damn.
Yep. And
Oh.
Liam McNeely.
Damn.
Josh, I said San Antonio should trade this pick.
Okay. I asked that because I was literally right before you said that. I was gonna say that. I feel like they're running into a Thunder situation, right? Like they can't.
Yeah.
They've got too many picks, right?
So they did at least make a pick here allegedly, and it is one of my pet cats. It's Carter Bryant.
Ooh, damn, that is not fair.
That defense is going to be nasty. Now, the
There's so
offense-
many wing defenders in this.
And they have Sweeney coordinating
grief.
it, so that should be good.
Yeah,
Forgot about
yeah,
that.
yeah. Sweeney's going to have some
Who
fun.
the hell is going to coach for the Mavs this year?
That's a great question.
Would you like to be the coach of the Dallas Mavericks?
I could coach them. They wouldn't play any defense though.
I think Josh just got offered to be an assistant. Actually,
I think we all did, if I remember correctly. So
I nominate Brent and his cardigan.
yeah, shout out to the Cardigan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who they even like. Where do you even look for assistant coaches? Got to promote
There's
like
got to be
the-
some kind of like assistant coach portal at some point. Like
Yeah.
all these guys know each other at a certain point. So
Oh,
you
it's
just get
agents.
stuff to the
You,
grapevine.
you heard about it with like Sweeney's agent is Dudley's agent, who is also Shamgod's agent. Like it's an agent's game. They're all
yeah.
connected.
this is a really interesting take. The Pelicans had two potentially valuable 2026 first round picks from either their own in basically the pick swap with the Bucks or the 2026 Pacers one, and they traded both of them over the past week.
Oh my god,
Joe Dumars is not good at being a front office guy.
dude! I'm
No.
like no one is.
No.
All of these guys, I'm realizing they have no idea what they're doing.
You realize just how rare it is to have a GM who like knows how to do that job when the draft and like summer league comes around, and you see these guys get together, and you're like, man,
You know what
this
makes me
person kind of
sick?
makes you look like an idiot.
I know I've written at least probably 2 or 3 things in the last year about how Nico Harrison deserves his flowers, and now I just like how do we scrape that from the internet? I
Yeah.
can't even like think about that take that I had.
Oh man.
Oh, goodness.
So another interesting trade tidbit is that Charlotte traded Micic to Phoenix as part of the Nick Richards trade and all of that. And now as part of the Mark Williams trade, Micic is heading back to Charlotte.
Yo, he's got to be tired. I bet he wishes he stayed in Europe at this point. Like that's how I'd be feeling right now.
Oh man.
Definitely better than Charlotte, North Carolina. I can tell you that much.
Hey, don't let Gracie hear you say that.
Nah, she'll be fine. No, she lives in Virginia.
Is it? But isn't
Yeah.
she from Charlotte?
She like I think Charlotte's just the closest NBA team to her,
Oh, okay.
and that's why she goes to those games against the Mavs.
Oh, this Carter Bryant suit is tough.
So Carter Bryant is good. This is good for San Antonio.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's that athletic wing type that that any team sort of asks for, and his shooting's improved over the past season. I would not have been surprised if he went top 10.
Yeah, he just
I-
didn't get a lot of playing time.
Yeah, I think the defense is going to be awesome. Like, I think a high end comp I saw from him somewhere was something like Sean Marion, and it's like, all right, I think we're getting a little lofty there, but
Yep.
like I think defensively he's going to be pretty good. Offense, if that shot is not falling, he quite literally cannot do anything. Like they were treating him in Arizona like he had a no dribble rule, like coaches give centers in high school. So I am worried about the offense.
So
But it might not
this
matter.
this just popped in my head. He's an athletic wing, right? Who can't do much if his shot is not falling.
I know.
And he's from Arizona. Is he possibly just Josh Green?
No. He's
Oh,
way better
God.
than Josh Green. Like he's an actual defender.
That is
Like
disrespectful.
he actually plays defense. Like
He's
in a
bigger.
way that matters.
And
It shows on the
he's
court.
a lot taller. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the other thing. He's also like 6'9". He's like 5 inches taller.
yeah.
Who gaslit us into thinking Josh Green was a good defender?
I want all the.
Where-
Dude, I was begging them to take Desmond Bain in that draft. I am not lying to you. I was begging and
Trust
begging
me,
and begging.
that has been a talking point in our Slack for years.
Like I watched. Shout out Adam Spinella, now unfortunately a Philadelphia 76ers employee, but formerly one of the best NBA draft content creators that we had on this internet. And I watched his scout video of Desmond Bain at TCU. It was like 20 minutes long. And I said, we need this player on the roster right now. You could probably get him at 30, take him at 18. And instead we left with Josh Green, that point guard kid, Tyler Bay.
Oh, that was a bad draft.
God.
It was historically bad.
He quit basketball.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tyler
mean,
Bay, no,
chaos-
that was.
chaos-
I don't think
The
any.
point guard had some things going on where he.
I don't
kinda
think-
had to-
KOC called him the steal of the draft.
I don't think any of you guys were on staff when that were. Maybe
No,
that was
David. Were you?
I wasn't.
Yeah,
Maybe-
I would.
I can't remember.
Wait, maybe I wasn't. I was December of 2020. It might have been right after.
Okay, yeah, because that felt like the last time I got really mad online was when they didn't draft Bain because
I don't remember. When was the draft that year?
Huh?
It was
When
like
was
right
the 2020
before
draft?
It was like in November. wasn't it?
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was like literally right after the 2020 draft then, because I remember. Yeah.
And then it was like double
Anyway,
bad
sorry.
because
Keep going.
is that? Wait, is that the worst draft in the history of this organization? Because you had that, and then you had the Josh Richardson trade the same day.
Oh my god.
Maybe, but if you
Oh.
look at the second round picks and you look at who they could have picked instead, there's no one there.
No,
Bain-
no, for sure. There was nobody behind them. It was
Yeah,
just
the
like
green,
that.
but the green pick was horrible because Bain was
Are-
in sure. Bain was like one of the most sure things I remember.
Yeah.
It's like that production just translates that type of player.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was annoying.
I remember my roommate was like anyone but Josh Green, and then 7 seconds later, the Dallas Mavericks select Josh Green. He was like, "No!" I remember we were both so mad. We both hated Josh Green. Josh Green, if you're listening, I still hate you.
Josh, Josh, I love you. I wish you had never come to my team, man. I would love you way more if you were like never here and I never had to watch you play. Like and
What did Juice WRLD
my
say?
mental health depended.
I love
on-
that girl so much. I wish I never met her.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
Oh,
if
man.
you would have just let me love you from afar, brother, like our relationship
Josh
would be
Green
so much
talk
better
in
right now.
2025.
Yeah. Where you can tell I tortured
What are
you.
we
You
doing?
just drafted Cooper Flagg. We're talking about Josh Green.
Yeah. All right. I think.
Yeah, I got to tap
No,
out.
you
y'all.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Go
gonna
ahead,
say,
punishment.
I don't. You guys can talk as long as you want. I don't know how much longer I can hold in, but
Are you and Kurt going tonight?
no, because Kirk has just got back. So I think what Kirk is gonna do is he's gonna post this to our podcast feed. He's gonna do a live show Friday. But like we've been talking about Cooper for like weeks. Like there's nothing really happened tonight that we haven't talked about for like 10 hours in the last month, you know?
Yeah.
So what I want to do then, if people are about to leave, if you don't mind, can we give like final kind of thoughts about Cooper and what you're looking forward to, and then we can kind of wrap up if that sounds good to everyone else, or if there's people that still want to stay and talk and watch the draft, you're more than welcome to. But if we feel like we're running out of steam, we can kind of give our closing arguments, so to speak, for Cooper, and then we can kind of go our separate ways.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I mean, either
Sounds
way,
good. Yeah,
either
'cause I
way
never
works.
got to give like the Cooper retrospective like earlier when we were doing it. So I
Yeah,
got takes.
Yeah, I
You
didn't
got
get to go
takes?
though, so I want to.
Yeah,
get
go,
my
Tyler.
takes off.
Yeah, go ahead, Tyler. Yeah.
So, the thing that I'm most excited to watch for him, because genuinely the rest of the team really doesn't do much for me. Like it's kind of a running joke among some of my friends that like I'm just not going to root for the team, which to be determined on that, depending on what happens in free agency. But the thing I'm excited to see Cooper kind of tap into is some of his playmaking ability. You see a little bit of it at Duke, 4 assists a game, kind of some of the playmaking stuff. He did a little bit of 2-man stuff, but if they truly don't invest into a guard, I want Cooper to have the ball as much as he possibly can early in the season. And I'm really, really excited to watch him kind of develop into that. What really got me excited, Ryan Russillo did a pod with the old Montverde coach, and he was like, first year he's going to be 19, 7, and 7. I was like, whoa, 7 assists. Okay. So I'm excited to see it. I want to see the playmaking more than anything else because everything else is going to be perfect.
Okay. Who else got some,
Yeah.
what else? Who else
I
hasn't
do.
been able to? Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say one thing, man, and like you guys are gonna know where this is. This is pretty consistent with my behavior when it comes to this other player. Look, man, Cooper Flagg, his best position, we all understand, is the 4. On this team, he is going to play the 3, and guess what? He's so. If this was just the kind of player that we saw he was in high school, I would understand where y'all are coming from, saying that PJ is kind of like a luxury on this team, and he is going to have a lot of minutes stolen by Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg proved at college that he can shoot and handle the ball and be a playmaker. Oh, look, Thomas Sorba went to OKC. Oh no. That's the guy I was hoping they wouldn't take. He's going to be really good.
Trading Hardenstein? Question mark.
They're going to have to. He's not going to be there past the end of the season.
They said Hardenstein's contract really kicks up next year, so they can groom a center this year to take over Hardenstein's minutes so that they can keep their salary low. So that's what they're going to do with Sorber, likely.
Yeah, he's probably not going to make it past this upcoming deadline, and he's definitely not making it past next summer if he does. So, yeah, that's not surprising. Thomas Orr was a really good pick. I like that. As I was saying, though, yeah, Cooper's going to play the 3. He's so good at the 3. It doesn't matter that he's not going to be playing his best position, because his second best position, he's still going to be like a top 15 forward in the league almost immediately. It won't matter. And then you're going to have 2 of the best help defenders in basketball on either side of either Anthony Davis or Derek Lively. So, like, all the people trying to trade PJ, Sam Vecini, and all of you Mavs fans, cut it out. We have 3 centers. The third one is making like $18 million a year. Trade that guy. That's all I got to say, man. Cooper Flagg is going to play the 3, and he's going to be awesome at it, and I can't wait to see it.
No, I mean, for me, it's just regardless of how crap the Luka trade was, I think it's been fantastic for me as a Mavs fan. That, I mean, we've had Dirk, we had Luka for as long as we did, and now we have Cooper, and I mean, in some way that basically ensures that we will have hopefully some form of competence. And I'm just super excited to. I mean, it's always exciting when you get like a generational prospect come to your team. So I mean, now it's just about having someone to root for again. So I think that's the fantastic thing, and that's the thing that I'm sort of really looking for, because after that, I mean, it's something to be excited about the team again, I guess.
Yeah, that was going to be my only last point. Is I'm really excited to be excited again. those couple months after Luka got traded. I mean, that was, there were some dark thoughts basketball wise going on in my brain, and having something fun to be looking forward to in the fall, and not just the start of years and years of depression. Hey, that's pretty good.
Yep. I mean, I need a reason to wake up at 5:30 and 6 a.m.
Yeah, good lord, man.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I would have forbid you from doing that if you had to wake up for Brandon Williams starting point guard, and like whatever else was gonna be, they were gonna roll out there if they didn't win the lottery. So good for you.
Oh my god.
Whew. Well, anyone else? Final call. Any last thoughts? I think I appreciate all you guys joining. This was fun. I don't know anything about college basketball, so
Josh, you should have joined the money mocks that we did. We just went on about the draft for like 4 hours each.
All we did. It's all we did.
All right, next time, I promise. All right, unless there is a crazy trade that we need to get to, me and Kirk will probably not record tonight, but Kirk will do a live show Friday. We'll get this posted into our podcast feed. So again, thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you, David. Thank you, other David. Thank you, Sudarshan. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Pretty good comment section. Pretty good audience. Appreciate you guys sticking with us, even though maybe this draft wasn't as eventful after the Cooper pick as we might have thought. But hey, they got Cooper. It's kind of all that matters. Come to MavsMoneyball.com. Listen to this podcast feed, as we can officially talk about what Cooper means to this team, how he fits into this roster. For Josh Bowe, for Pod Maverick, talk to you guys later. Stay safe. See ya.